Hello and welcome to this free course by Lusodium Design School, The Art of Draping. This course teaches you an in-depth exposure on the simple act of draping. You get to know that draping is as simple as ABC. All right, let's get right into it. Now, because I know that some people are hearing draping for the first time, they don't even know what drape designs are. So here are some sample pictures of drape designs. The first picture are some of my drape work, while the other pictures were gotten online. So feed your eyes and enjoy. Now, these are some drape designs again. How can you learn draping even if you have never draped before? I mean, you want to ask some questions like, why should you even drape? Is pattern drafting not enough? All of this is what we want to learn in this course. Since I'll be your instructor for the next few minutes, I think it's just so good for you to meet me. My name is Omolola Akonji. I'm the lead instructor at Lusodium Design School, and we have taught over 1,500 students the act of draping, of which you would also be learning in this course. And of course, I can boldly say, as at the time of teaching this course, I am just one of the few tutors in Nigeria that teaches pure draping. I don't mean draping that are added on, I mean pure draping. So welcome again. This course is brought to you by LDS, which is Lusodium Design School. We specialize in short courses and master classes for fashion designers who are looking to upgrade themselves and they don't have a lot of time to use for the upgrade, or they don't have a lot of money. So our trainings are not time consuming, are very affordable. So we do short courses and master classes and upgraded pattern making, draping, contouring, bridal master classes, and our courses are both physical and online. So you can take it from anywhere in the world. It might also interest you to know that I, your instructor, I was part of the winners at the draping competition at the Vicky James Empowerment Program in 2021. Yeah, if you look at the video on your screen, you would see where there was a circle that showed me, yes, and out of quite a number of people that I can't count, a lot of people were shortlisted before we made it to the dress form to drape, and I came up as one of the winners, which were gifted an industrial sewing machine, which is still in my studio right now. So yes, it's safe to say I can teach you how to win a draping competition. All right. And these are just few of our students' drape work. After learning draping, they just did some practical work, get their hands on it, and just being creative. This is Low Sodium Design School on Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, we have over 4,000 followers, and on Instagram, we have over 2,000 followers. So you can follow us, check us out to see the things that we teach. We show most of our students' work on our pages, especially on Instagram. And you also get to see some videos that would interest you. You can learn some tutorials as well. There's no point spending a lot of minutes watching this video without knowing what you would learn or what I promise to give you. So in this course, I'm going to be teaching you what draping is about. Yes, I mean, a lot of people don't even know what draping is about. I was surprised. I thought everybody knew, but it's good that you're in this class. And I want to show you that anybody can drape. Yes, when you look on social media, on Instagram, you think, oh, it's all these Oyinbos that can drape. I mean, oh, only professionals, only advanced designers can drape. I would shock you to know that anybody can drape. And of course, I want to show you that draping is like one of the quickest way of making money. Yes, even if you cannot sew. Of course, see, there's a lot of discovery. And definitely, I want to review to you that biggest secret of how to drape without a dress form. I used to think you can only drape when you have a dress form, but trust me, I have discovered that you can drape even without a dress form. And yes, it will come out perfectly well. So this is the time when you need to get a pen and a book for you to jot down everything we'll be learning, because the class is about to start now. So pause this video and go get a pen right away. I'm waiting for you. Welcome back. Yeah. So before you pause the video, I know I told you to go get a pen and a book. I hope you have that with you already. So let me tell you about this biggest discovery I made regarding draping in fashion. Now, I realized that when you know the act of draping, you can make it big in fashion. Why? There are quite a number of people who do the fashion thing, the corsets, the trouser making, all of that, but only few know how to drape. That means you can teach other people draping once you can learn the act of draping. Customers can also trust you with drape designs, and then you can charge them for it because you are just one of few that can drape, so they can actually pay you well because you are a professional and then you know how to drape. And of course, that is why you're in this class, because you want to learn more about draping. Another thing is you'll be seen as a professional. Why? Because when you don't know how to do something and somebody knows how to do it, that person seems to look like, oh, this person is a professional, they're more advanced. And just very few people are doing the act of draping. Yeah, even in the fashion industry. Let's, because I know that we have other people joining us outside of Nigeria. So when you check online, there are just very few people doing draping. So once people can see that, oh, this person is doing draping, they must be very good, they must be professionals, people see you as a professional. Another thing I discovered about draping is that when you know how to drape, you can create really unique and original designs. Nobody will come and run after you and say, oh, she copied my design, because trust me, draping makes you very creative, even much more than you can think or imagine. You can literally stand in front of a dress form and create about three, four, five, six designs that you didn't even think of before. Draping is very sweet. If you know me before now, you know that I'm a big advocate of draping. I can always put up and say, oh, original design made by Lusodium, because yes, it was draped and you don't even know how I did it. It's even difficult for people to copy your designs. So here are some Nigerian designers that drape. The first picture you have Ankranberry, you can check her up. We have Imade Duso, and of course we have Losodium, which is myself. Okay, we also have more. We have Katie Anthony, Imade Duso, and we also have myself again, Losodium. Some foreign designers, we have Tabja, we have Audrey Shaiti, So I'm showing you all of this so that you know that draping is not a new thing. I mean, draping has been existing for so many years. So it shows that it is important that if you want to be in this fashion thing for so long, you need to learn how to drape. Draping is one aspect of fashion that doesn't go into extinction. Yes, I can vouch, I can bet that with everything. Draping would always be here to stay. Now, I've taken time to show you all of those pictures because I want you to have a visual understanding of how drape looks like, or how a draped design looks like. Now, what is draping? Draping is just a technique in fashion designing where the fabric is pinned and arranged directly on the dress arm. So if you look at the picture beside this, you will see that the fabric is just being arranged and draped in a certain way, following different shapes, different structures. Okay, and you also notice that in all of the slides you'll be looking at, a lot of these are pictures, because I want you to know that this is original. We are not trying to pick things that we are not doing to come and tell you, oh, we can do it, whereas we don't even have anything to show for it. Most of the pictures you see on these slides are from our work. Okay, one good advantage also for draping is that it helps you see the finished work even before you produce it. And this is the reason why I love draping, which is also one of the reasons why I keep saying that it helps you become more creative. So from draping, you can see that, oh, I don't like the way the neckline looks like. Let me adjust it and shift it. You can do all of that with draping. You can also feel like, oh, I don't like the shape, or I don't like this. You can change everything. So you get a 3D presentation, or a 3D view of what you are doing. You can see it even before you take it to the sewing machine to sew. Now let's talk about the history of draping. Like I said earlier, I said draping has been around for a while. It's not something that is just coming up or a new trend of fashion. It's been around for centuries, and you would see that it's just like different forms of fashion. Most times, fashion is born out of culture, or the way some people dress within their culture. So we would see that draping in itself came from the Greeks and the Romans. Yes, people from Greece and from Rome. Okay, you will realize that there's a way that they wrap fabrics around their body just to cover themselves. Like, for example, like the togas, which you see by the right hand side at the upper part of this picture, and then the chiton that you see just right beneath it. So it's so funny and strange to realize that this can be an aspect of fashion that becomes very trendy now. Even though that has been something that we have seen from many years ago, there is a way that we now modernize it and it becomes a part of the 21st or even 22nd century. Okay, and that's what we want to see in this course. There will always be someone who makes a thing trend. So even though we said draping has been around for a while and it's just a way of dressing of a particular culture, we see that in modern fashion, draping became more formalized in the 20th century. So designer like Madeleine Vionnet, who was popularized for the bias cut technique. So if you don't know, the bias cut technique is what's one of the techniques we use majorly in draping, because it allows the fabrics flow naturally around the body. And so she is like the mother of draping. Let's put it that way. She's the one who everybody knows that, oh, this woman made a garment with bias cord from start to finish. Now, you already know that draping definitely goes beyond wrapping the fabrics around the dress form, because if you're wrapping fabric around the dress form, how should you wrap it? What direction should it go? How do you cut the lines? What and what do you even need? Can you use all fabrics? There are so many questions. And yes, I know that it's not even as simple as I'm saying it, but with supervision and getting someone to hold your hands to train you, definitely I keep saying anybody can drape. Okay, it's not. Let me shock you. It's not as hard as pattern making. Pattern making, you have to calculate. You have to know formulas. It's not as hard as pattern making. Like, gosh, that's why I've learned pattern making and I've learned draping, and I'll keep saying draping is my best. Because, gosh, you guys, you don't know what you are missing. You don't know. That's why I keep saying pattern making is the best. Once you know, that's why you're in this class, and I'm glad that you are. So, yeah, enough of the gist. Let's get back to class. So, what are some of the things to consider when draping? One is your grain line. It's very, very, very important. So you need to know what direction of grain your fabrics have grains, and you need to know what direction of grain you are draping on. You know, there are some drapes that require the bias grain, there are some that require the cross grain, and there are some that require the lengthwise grain. Trust me, it's not all that you drape on bias. Yes. Another one you're looking at is the fabric type. So you take, for example, the picture you can see by the right hand side of the slide, and you realize that we had worked with a satin that has a little bit of structure. Yes, so if we were creating something like this and you go ahead to use chiffon, definitely it's not going to give you this stanch. It's probably going to fall. So there are different, you can really use different kind of fabrics to achieve different results, but you need to know the qualities of each of these fabrics. How do they behave? Fabric behavior is very important. Another one is body size. Yes, this is very, very important. The design is also important. What kind of design are you working with? How does it flow? How does it drop? How does it hang? Another one is dress form type. My God, this is the case where this is what causes what I ordered versus what I got. So you probably have draped a design on the dress form. It was looking so nice. The drapes were standing, they were not dropping. And then when the person collect the garments and they wear it, it's like, what's going on? The drape is screaming and singing, I don't want to be together. I just want to fall. So there is a reason why that is happening. Trust me. And some people will say, oh, because I have a size 8 dress form and the person I'm draping for is a size 10, so I cannot take up that job. My dear, is because you do not know how to drape, or you do not understand the concept of different type of dress forms. Even if you have just one size of dress form, you can drape any size, or at least a size 2 size up that dress form and 1 size below. For comparison, let's look at the difference between draping versus pattern making. So when you're draping, you get to see the finished work even before you start sewing. That is, I can see how the neck is, how the shoulder falls, how the waist is, how the hip, how the hem is. But like pattern making, I have to wait until I finish the garment. So it means that if there's a mistake, I will need to lose the garment and probably start all over again, or start readjusting it even after I was done sewing. But for draping, I get to see it on the spot, correct it before I now proceed to sewing. Another thing with draping I mentioned earlier, it's that it allows you to be creative. Like, no matter how dull you think you might be when it comes to designing, draping brings out the best in you. And I'm not even capping. Draping brings out the best in you. You would be shocked and start asking yourself, am I the one that created this? Did I just create a design? If you have never created a design before, like you were not the original designer, maybe you always would just copy a design, or maybe just pick one or two things from there. Draping allows you explore because you are following the flow of the fabric. Designs are just coming and you're like, oh, I have this in me. For pattern making, it's more of technical precision. So you're just checking, oh, the neckline, the sleeve, am I cutting? Am I coming down 2 inches or 5 inches? Draping is sweet. All right. Another thing that we'll see is that draping is organic and intuitive. So what do I mean by that? Is that it's original. So I'm creating a design. It's organic. I'm not trying to outsource or checking online or anything. You can check online, yes, sometimes maybe to get inspiration. But trust me, if you allow draping to guide you, my dear, There is nothing you will not be able to do. Okay, for pattern making, it's more analytical and methodical. So it means you need to learn the method of pattern making. Maybe you are working with Natalie Bray or Ellen Armstrong or Winifred Aldrich. You have to learn that pattern making, do some calculations, use the methods. It's too standard. Draping allows you to be free. Oh my God, I think I'm screaming. Okay, let's continue. Why do you need to know about draping? One is that it's always in vogue. I mentioned it earlier. Another thing is you can make really complex designs with draping. Like draping makes it easy, very easy. There are some designs you see online that it's not all designs you can make with pattern making. Yes, it's not all designs you can make with pattern making. However, draping comes to the rescue because if I see some designs and I'm like, I'm trying to crack my head, oh, is it that manipulation? Is it this or that? And I said I don't understand. I will just move to draping because I know draping has almost the solution to every design problems. Okay. So another advantage is that you can easily customize your dresses. So if you're a designer who is looking at owning your designs, so I feel like the fashion industry is moving to a point where people will start putting a copyright on their designs. So this is the right time to learn draping so that you can also create your own designs. You can customize it based on what you want, and you seem to be like the only one who can achieve it the exact same way that you created that. Another reason why you need to know how to drape is that it's easy to do. I've said it, it's very easy beyond the complexities that you see. When you don't know a thing, it looks like it's too complex. But the moment you know it, you're like, oh, so this is just it. So it's very easy to do. It also gives an advantage for you to be free to create anything you want to create. And obviously, it reduces errors because when you drape, you can easily see where the mistake is. Oh, this one is not aligning with this. Then you just use your hand to adjust it. Simple. I don't know why you guys are sleeping on draping. Okay, let's move on. It's very, very important to know how to monetize whatever skill that you are learning. And that's why you need to ask, how do I make money from this? How do I make money from draping? There are several ways to make money from draping. One is by styling people for their photo shoot. So this might not be popular, but a lot of people are doing it already for celebrities, for even the average people where they don't have the time to make dresses for their photo shooting for their birthdays, and they really want to share pictures. They want people to share their birthday pictures on their birthday. So you can just advertise and tell them, if you cannot afford to make a dress, I can style you at a token. And this is one of the most lucrative business because you are being paid to come and just style them. Really, you come with your fabric, style them, design the design the dress on their body, and when you are done, you take your pins, you take your fabric, and you're off. Your money in your pockets. Super, super sweet and easy. All you need are just pins. You're not even sewing anything. Another one is by creating content on social media. I want to believe at least half of the people watching this video right now would have seen some form of draping video online, and you wondered, who, how did he do it? But yeah, you probably followed that person after watching the video, or you liked. The goal is that those people get followers, more engagement, because they are creating a content that you really like, and through that they get to have access to more people that can buy things. Imagine if you are creating draping videos or draping content videos on YouTube. YouTube is going to pay you because of the number of people that will be viewing it. Another thing I like about using draping to create content for fashion designers is that for upcoming fashion designers, they will encourage you, oh, sew clothes, even if you don't have a customer yet, put something up on your page. And sometimes it could really be very, very expensive to be sewing probably every week, and yet you need to show up every week. So the trick is that just drape something, drape a new design. You can even give us a video of the process, drape a new design, put it up on your page. It could even be that it took a picture. When you check Tabja, which is one of the pages that I linked, it's not a Nigerian designer. There are some of their designs that is draped. When you look at the way it's draped, I can see some designs on dress ons and know that, oh, this was draped, it was not sewn, because maybe the neck is very high, that I know that, oh, there's no zip at the back of this cloth. So what they do is to keep themselves consistent instead of having to look for money to be sewing every day. Clothes that maybe at the end you might not even wear it or sell to anybody. They just get fabrics. Maybe you have a long white fabric and then just drape it. Okay, so what you see, the picture beside that I'm wearing, it's not it's not pinned, it's sewn, but it can actually be draped without you sewing it, and you just take a picture. Nobody has to see the back. Yeah, you created content. Another way to make money from draping is by making dresses. I feel like this is like a one way or maybe most popular way that people know. But the reason why it's much better with draping is that, remember I said not a lot of people do draping. People do draping, but not a lot of people do draping from the scratch. I mean, designs that can only be done with draping. Draping that is not that, oh, you sewn the whole clothes and then maybe you're just draping the cape or the sleeve part. That's not the kind of draping I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who understand the techniques of draping, working with your dress form. You're doing it from scratch. Not a lot of people know that. So if there are designs that can only be achieved with draping and you can do it, trust me, you're going to charge way more. So that's one other way. Another way to make money from draping is by teaching the act of draping, yes, because we don't have a lot of people who know the depth of draping and the concept behind it. So we don't, people are still struggling to even know it, talk more of teaching it. But the moment you can teach it, trust me, this is still like a blue ocean. A lot of people are not teaching draping yet. So you're going to cash out. So this is a time to ensure that you don't miss out on this. Now, I've been able to explain to you what draping is about, the history of draping, how you can make money from draping, the different things that you need to consider when draping. And trust me, all of this is enough for you to get started. However, you still need to learn more. Okay, you definitely need to learn more. So I have done something for you. I've created something that I will call a learning list that can guide you on what to learn, because draping is practical, it's not theoretical. Okay, it's practical, it's hands-on. Your hand has to do the job. So I've created a learning list for you. So this learning list helps you understand what and what to learn. You need to learn the techniques and types of draping. Yes, there are different types of draping. Draping is not just one kind of draping. There are different type of draping and different techniques to draping. You need to learn the different fabrics that can be used for draping. Even when we are working with thick and soft fabrics, what are the things to consider when working with them? You will need to know the tools that are suitable for draping. It's not just pins and dress forms you need. Yes, there's some tools that you probably don't even know that these tools exist. You will need to know how to pad a dress for. My God, this is like the parts where people miss out and then they start saying, oh, I draped it well on the dress form. I don't know what happened when my customer fit it. It was not coming out well, just the way it was on the dress form. See, draping on dress form is one thing. Your customer wearing the clothes and it fits them is another thing. So it's very important for you to know the difference. Okay. So you will need to know how to pad your dress form to increase the size of your dress form. You will need to know how to ensure that your drapes don't scatter when they wear it. So it's not that I'm draping on the dress form and then when they wear it, everything scatters. We can't see the draping. You also need to know how to iron your drapes without you flattening them. So technically, the way you press or iron for other dresses is different from when the dress is draped. Okay. Then you also need to know the type of dress form used in draping and how to choose the right one to buy. I see a lot of people buy dress forms simply because, oh, the dress form looks so attractive and beautiful. The hip is big, the waist is small, the bust is big, and that's why I'm buying it. And I'm like, oh my God. Come for draping class so that you understand that this is not how you choose. You are working with these dress forms. Okay, so you will need to know the right dress form, basically the right dress form for you to buy for draping. You also need to know how to make a draped dress for a client, and I'm talking dress that clients will wear, not, on social media. Most of the videos we see is the ones that they just drape on the dress form. They don't show you how they even take it off the dress form to the sewing machine, how they sew it, and then they make it into a dress. You only see how they drape it, but you need to know all of this process, because ask me, is it dress form that is going to wear the clothes? It's not. It's a client that is going to wear it. So you need to know how to make a drip dress for a client, especially somebody that you probably don't have their dress form size. So dress forms are quite expensive. So you you might, if you are starting out, you might not have money to buy 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 dress forms to fit different sizes. So you need to know how to work with that one dress form that you have. You need to know how to work with it. Okay. And of course, how to remove your dress from the dress form. You need to know how to cut and sew a draped dress. Yes, cutting and sewing, not just dresses that hang on the dress form. And when the camera is shot, you don't know what to do with it again. So, and of course, you need to know how to make that quick money to do a photo shoot without sewing anything. I usually would always love that. I've made a photo shoot one time. It's on my page. I think the pictures were also part of the slide where we draped an entire wedding dress from scratch and nobody knew. I had to, later on I put it in the caption that this particular dress you're seeing was draped, like it was not sewn. Everything was pins. And if you're doing photo shoot, I hope you know that we must not know that it's draped. We must not know that it's not an actual dress. We must not see the pin. So there are different ways to do that, and you need to learn that. Now, you can decide that you would go ahead and say, okay, let me take all of this from our learning list and go and learn it. You are free to do that. Or you can say, Omolola, you have said all of this. Now I need you to take my hand and teach me all of these things that you have put in your learning list. You sound like you really know what you are doing. I need you to teach me. Okay, so if that is what you are saying, of course, I would be more than glad. I told you before, dripping is like one of my sweetest, sweetest things to do. It makes me excited. So I would definitely want to do that for you. So you can choose to do an online course with Losodium Design School. We have a draping online course that teaches all of those things in the learning list and much more. The course holds on Telegram. It's online, so even if you are in South Africa, Kenya, Asia, UK, you can take the course from anywhere in the world. There's also a payment link for you. So you get to learn all of this. It's pre-recorded, so it means that you don't have to say, oh, when is the course starting? The course starts when you make payments. The course starts when you make, so when you make payments, you are added to the platform where the course is, which is on Telegram, and you start watching directly. And there's a platform where you get to ask questions. So it's not like, oh, nobody's going to hold my hands. I already said I'm going to hold your hands. So I'm not forgetting that. So you get to do that practice, and I'll be so glad to be your tutor to teach you, put you through, and see you make money. So let us see. So for that particular online course, there are two designs that were made. One is the one you are seeing, the pink one you're seeing, and definitely there's another one that shows how you drape without having to sew. All right, so let's watch this video of this particular dress that was made in. This is one of the dresses that were made in the class. So I mean, it means that by the end, when you're done watching this course, the paid course, you are going to know how this was achieved, and you'll be able to do something similar, and something way even much more better than this. I like that when you are done with the paid course, dripping looks like I beg you guys, I already know what you did. It's no longer that big giant, like, oh my god, how did he do this? You probably watch that video and you're like, oh, how did she do this one? How did she add this? How did she? By the way, that is not an attached train, and there's no pin on that dress form. Absolutely no pin. In the course, we showed a video. The video shows a model wearing the dress. Okay, so it's not we're not we're not deceiving anybody here. I want to show you how to make a draped dress that is not living on the dress form. Like it's a woman being that is wearing it, and you'll be able to know how to do that yourself. Okay, so if you feel like, oh, how do I get in? How do I get to see be a part of this paid course, online course? You need to just simply send a message to the phone number you're seeing right now. Just send a message saying, I want to register for the draping course. Or you can just look at the platform you're in. There will be a link that will be sent there for you to be able to send a message directly. Okay. If not, if you can't find it, just send a message on Instagram to at Losodium Design School. And of course, for our international audience, we do not leave you behind. You can still send a message either by checking the link we are going to drop on the platform you are in, or better still, you send a message on Instagram. Okay, so once payment is confirmed, we don't no delay, just send the link to the course to you, and you are in. So we would always encourage that once you are in, don't delay, don't say I've paid already, nobody's going to drag me. Watch the courses, ask questions, please ask questions, because I am definitely more than willing to answer your questions. Okay, we are also going to share a payment link so that it's easier. You don't have to wait until you get a response on WhatsApp. You can use the payments link. It will be dropped also in the platform that you are on. So you use the payment link to just make payments, and immediately you make payments, a link is sent to you. You are in class already. Like, very, very easy. Okay, so I hope that you were able to pick a lot of things from this free course. It's a short course, and I hope that you were able to gain a lot. I'm so glad that you watched to the end. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining this course, and we can't wait to see you in the paid course. All right, have an amazing day.